June 22, 1941, the day the largest, most devastating military operation in human history began. 3 million soldiers, 3,000 tanks, and 2,500 aircraft surged across the Soviet border. But look at the map of Europe in the summer of 1941, and you have to ask why this invasion happened at all. Germany was already in a highly secure position. Hitler had already conquered or allied with almost the entire continent. His western flank was quiet, with German officers strolling through a defeated Paris. The Soviet Union was not an immediate threat. Under the Nazi-Soviet pact, Stalin was actively shipping vital raw materials westward to feed the German war machine. A rational military strategy would have focused on the one remaining enemy. Germany could have prioritized naval warfare to starve out an isolated Britain. Or they could have consolidated their massive European conquests and forced a favorable diplomatic settlement to end the war. Invading the Soviet Union meant abandoning sound military strategy in favor of a fanatical ideological obsession. That obsession rested on two pillars. First, Lebensraum. The Nazis believed their master race required the vast plains of the East for living space. Second, the destruction of Judeo-Bolshevism, a toxic Nazi conspiracy theory conflating Judaism and communism into one enemy to be eradicated. These twin obsessions caused Barbarossa to break from the traditional rules of warfare that governed the campaigns in Western Europe. Documents like the Hunger Plan laid out a deliberate strategy to starve 30 million Soviet citizens, simply to redirect their food to the advancing German army. On the ground, the military issued the Commissar order to execute political prisoners on sight, while mobile killing units known as Einsatzgruppen swept in behind the front lines. In reality, Operation Barbarossa functioned as a blueprint for an apocalyptic genocide, utilizing the invasion as a vehicle for systematic extermination. At first, the invasion seemed to validate every Nazi delusion. Utilizing blitzkrieg tactics, German armor pushed 400 miles deep into Soviet territory in weeks. They executed massive encirclement battles at Minsk and Kiev, trapping and annihilating entire Soviet armies. Within months, they have captured nearly 4 million Soviet soldiers. In the Berlin High Command, leaders looked at these numbers and concluded the Soviet state had already collapsed and the war was effectively won. This initial catastrophic success reinforced Hitler's ideological arrogance, blinding him to the fatal realities forming just over the horizon. But arrogant planning can only ignore geography and logistics for so long. Hitler assumed the Soviet regime was a fragile structure that would shatter upon impact. Stalin rallied the population by declaring a holy war for the motherland, anchoring the defense in national patriotism to generate a massive, replenishing supply of manpower. Hitler also believed Soviet production capabilities would easily fall into German hands or be destroyed in the initial bombings. He did not anticipate a logistical miracle. The Soviets dismantled their Western factories, loaded them onto trains, and rebuilt them in the Ural Mountains, safely beyond the range of German bombers. This relocated industry quickly outproduced Germany, manufacturing rugged, superior weapons like the T-34 tank. Finally, because Hitler expected a quick ideological triumph before autumn, the German army arrived completely unprepared, wearing only summer uniforms. When the Russian winter hit, temperatures plummeted to minus 40 degrees Celsius. Frostbite began claiming more men than Soviet bullets. The extreme cold also incapacitated the entire German war machine, freezing tank engines and rendering their weapons useless. By substituting rational military strategy with toxic, delusional ideology, Hitler unwittingly engineered the total destruction of his own empire.